What if I told you the most common exercise recommended for poor leg circulation after 60 might actually be slowing your recovery? As a surgeon, I see it constantly. People walk faithfully, elevate their legs, wear compression socks, and still end up with cold feet, swelling, burning pain, and eventually falls. And here's the scary part. Poor circulation isn't just discomfort. After 60, it can quietly push you towards slow healing sores, infections, and in severe cases, amputations. It's also one of the earliest warning signs that the heart and arteries are under stress. The problem is, most people don't understand what bad circulation really is. It's not just cold toes. It's blood failing to move down to your feet and back up to your heart efficiently. After 60, arteries can tighten and narrow, veins weaken, and blood starts pooling in the lower legs. By age 70, nearly 1 in 5 adults has measurable peripheral artery disease in the legs, and many don't know it yet. That's why surgeons don't guess about this. We see what happens when circulation isn't restored early. We see swelling turn into sores. We see balance slip. Then, one fall starts a rapid decline. So here's the good news. Rehab doesn't rely on step counts. It relies on specific movements that physically push blood back toward the heart. And once you understand which muscle drives that pump, the fix becomes shockingly simple. And I'm saving the best for last because when you understand the science, you'll never look at exercise after 60 the same way again. This could be the difference between walking strong at 80 or needing a cane by 70. Let's start with movement number 5, the second heart pump, calf activation. Starting with movement number 5 on our countdown, this one looks almost too simple to matter. But the science and surgical rehab protocols tell a very different story. This is often the first movement surgeons prescribe after leg surgery to prevent circulation collapse. Here's why this matters more than you think. Your calves contain what doctors call the venous muscle pump, sometimes referred to as the body's second heart. Every time this muscle contracts, it physically squeezes the veins in your lower legs and pushes blood back up toward your heart. After 60, this pump weakens fast, especially if you sit for long periods. When it underperforms, blood pools in the ankles and feet, swelling increases, oxygen delivery drops, and healing slows. Clinical studies in vascular rehabilitation show that simple ankle pumping can significantly improve venous return and reduce lower leg swelling in older adults, even without standing or walking. The key is not intensity, it's consistency and deliberate movement. To perform this correctly, sit in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. Lift your toes toward your shins while keeping your heels down. Then press your toes into the floor and lift your heels like you're stepping on a gas pedal. That's 1 repetition. Move slowly and with control. Aim for 20 to 30 reps, 2 to 3 times per day. You can do this while watching TV, reading, or sitting at the table. This movement restores a pumping action that walking alone often fails to activate strongly enough after 60. Walking relies on momentum. Ankle pumps create deliberate contractions that move stagnant blood out of the lower legs. That means warmer feet, less swelling, and reduced pressure on fragile veins. It's also one of the safest ways to begin improving circulation if pain, balance issues, or fatigue limit your mobility. But ankle pumps only wake the system up. The next movement strengthens the muscle that keeps blood from falling back down in the first place. And that's where real circulation changes begin. Movement number 4, seated venous return lift. And if you think sitting down means this one is easy, you're about to be surprised. A 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation found that adults over 60 who performed seated leg lifts with light resistance improved walking speed by 28% and stair climbing ability by 45% in just 8 weeks. Those numbers matter more than most people realize. Walking speed isn't just about fitness. Doctors actually call it the 6th vital sign because slower walking speed is strongly linked to higher fall risk, loss of independence, and shorter lifespan. Here's why this exercise works when walking doesn't. Seated leg lifts target your quadriceps and hip flexors at the same time, while forcing your core to stabilize your body. These are the exact muscles that keep your legs working when you stand, climb stairs, or rise from a chair. But traditional walking barely challenges them enough to stop age-related decline. And when those muscles contract, they don't just build strength, they squeeze the big veins in your thigh and help drive blood back up to the heart, reducing pooling. To do this correctly, Sit tall in a sturdy chair with your back pressed firmly against the seat and both feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift one leg straight out in front of you, keeping the knee as straight as comfortable. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower slowly without letting your foot drop. That's 1 rep. Do 10 to 15 reps on one leg, then switch sides. The detail most people miss is posture. Keeping your back against the chair prevents momentum and forces the right muscles to do the work. That's where the circulation benefit comes from. As this gets easier, add light resistance, ankle weights, or a resistance band. Even 1 or 2 pounds makes a difference. Research shows muscles respond to progressive resistance at any age, and older adults often improve faster because they're starting from a lower baseline. This movement reduces stiffness, improves walking tolerance, and strengthens the muscles that move blood through the upper legs, something ankle pumps alone can't do. But even strong thighs won't protect you if your balance system isn't firing correctly. Movement number 3, calf pump walk with support. This is the muscle group doctors rarely test, but it's often the first reason seniors lose their independence. Here's something that shocked even seasoned researchers reviewing aging data. A landmark report cited by the National Institute on Aging found that calf strength is one of the strongest predictors of whether someone over 60 maintains independence. Seniors with stronger calves had dramatically fewer falls and were far less likely to need assisted living. Here's why that matters more than most people realize. Your calf muscles act like a mechanical pump. Every time they contract, they squeeze deep veins in the lower leg and force blood upward against gravity. Weak calves mean blood pools, swelling increases, oxygen delivery drops, and balance reactions slow down. This is why surgeons and rehab teams obsess over this movement, even though it looks almost too simple. Here's what makes this movement different. It doesn't just build strength, it retrains circulation and balance at the same time, the exact combination your body relies on to prevent a fall. To perform this exercise correctly, stand behind a chair or countertop and hold on lightly. Rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. At the top, pause for 2 to 3 seconds while looking straight ahead, not down. Then lower slowly, taking about 3 seconds to come back down. The key here is the tempo. That brief pause at the top is where the magic happens. It forces your balance system and calf muscles to fire together. Exactly what happens when you catch yourself during a stumble. Start with 10 repetitions. Work up to 20 or 25 as strength improves. Over time, this single movement improves ankle stability, circulation, and reaction speed all at once. It's one of the most direct ways to reduce leg swelling while also lowering fall risk without stressing your joints. Now we're approaching the top 2 exercises, and this is where everything changes. Movement number 2, single leg circulation. Hold. Our runner-up spot goes to the single leg stance hold, one of the exercises orthopedic surgeons consider absolutely essential for anyone over 75. And before you dismiss this as just balance, here's something that shocked even seasoned clinicians reviewing aging research. Large population studies, referenced by the National Institutes on Aging, show that the ability to stand on one leg is one of the strongest predictors of future falls, mobility loss, and rapid physical decline after 60. In fact, adults who fail simple single-leg balance tests are several times more likely to experience serious falls within the next few years. And once falls start, circulation almost always gets worse, not better. Here's why this matters for blood flow. Every time you stand on one leg, your calf, ankle, hip, and core muscles are forced to contract continuously to keep you upright. That sustained contraction creates a prolonged muscle pump effect, especially in the calves, pushing blood upward instead of letting it pool in the lower legs. Walking never creates this demand. You're only on one leg for a fraction of a second. Single leg stance holds force the pump to stay on. And this is where circulation and fall prevention overlap. When balance declines, people move less. When movement drops, blood flow slows, swelling increases, pain rises, confidence falls, and that's how the downward spiral starts. Here's how to perform this properly. Stand next to a countertop, chair, or wall and place one hand lightly on it for support. Shift your weight onto one leg and lift the other foot just an inch or 2 off the floor. You don't need to lift it high. Stand tall. Keep your eyes forward. Avoid gripping with your toes. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing normally. Then switch legs. That's one set. Start with 2 rounds per side. As this gets easier, reduce how much you rely on your hand for support. Eventually, you'll be able to hover your hand without touching. What makes this exercise powerful is not just balance, it's time under tension. Those sustained contractions keep blood moving, strengthen stabilizing muscles, and retrain the nervous system to react faster when you stumble. Studies consistently show that improving single-leg balance reduces fall risk, improves walking confidence, and helps seniors stay active, which is essential for long-term circulation health. But here's the key limitation. Balance keeps you upright. It doesn't fully restore blood flow on its own. To do that, you need the most powerful version of the calf pump there is, the one surgeons across the world rely on most in rehab. The moment you've been waiting for. Movement number 1, standing calf pump hold. The number 1 spot goes to the standing calf pump hold. And once you understand what this movement does inside your legs, you'll see why surgeons around the world prescribe it almost like medicine for restoring blood flow after 60. This is the movement I teased at the beginning. Here's something that shocked even seasoned surgeons reviewing long-term recovery data. Across vascular rehab programs worldwide, this exact movement shows up again and again because no other exercise activates the calf muscle pump as powerfully, as safely, or as consistently after 60. This is the most direct way to force blood out of the lower legs and back toward the heart without medication, machines, or impact. Here's why it works. Your calves aren't just muscles. They're pressure pumps. When you rise onto your toes and hold, those muscles squeeze the deep veins in your lower legs and physically drive blood upward against gravity. The hold is what makes the difference. It keeps the pump engaged long enough to overcome pooling, swelling, and sluggish return flow. Walking doesn't do this. Ankle pumps prepare the system. Single leg stance trains control. But heel raises with a hold actively move blood and keep it moving. This is why surgeons rely on it most. Here's how to do it properly. Stand behind a chair or countertop and hold on lightly for balance. Place your feet hip-width apart. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. Now pause. Hold the top position for 3 to 5 seconds while breathing normally and looking straight ahead. Then lower slowly, taking about 3 seconds to come back down. That's 1 repetition. Start with 8 to 10 reps. Over time, work up to 15 or 20 with control. The key here is the hold. That's where the magic happens. This sustained contraction keeps the calf pump fully engaged, improves venous return, reduces swelling, and retrains the muscles your body relies on when you catch yourself during a stumble. Clinical rehab data consistently shows that seniors who master controlled heel raises improve circulation, walking endurance, ankle strength, and balance confidence, all at once. And unlike high-impact exercises, this puts minimal stress on joints, making it safe even for people with arthritis or balance concerns when done with support. So there you have it. 5 exercises surgeons rely on to restore circulation, reduce swelling, and protect independence after 60. Walking is wonderful. You should keep doing it. But walking alone leaves critical gaps. It doesn't fully activate the muscle pumps that move blood out of your legs or train the balance systems that prevent falls. These 5 movements fill those gaps. And the best part? They take less than 15 minutes per day, require no gym, and can be done safely at home. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these exercises surprised you the most? Or which one are you starting today? Drop a comment below. We read every single one. And before you go, don't skip the next video on your screen. It reveals one wall-based exercise surgeons now say works better than walking for building leg strength, balance, and joint stability after 60. Most people overlook it because it looks too simple, but the results are dramatic when done correctly. Watch that next. It could change how you train your legs from here on out. Thanks for watching.